Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Coffee with Craig show. We'll be talking about commercial real estate in Central and Eastern Europe. Welcome to the Coffee with Craig show, and we're here with a special edition interview with Piotr Rusinek, head of project and development consultancy at BNP Paribas Real Estate Poland. We're going to talk about, Piotr, welcome to the show again. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
I really wanted to touch base on a few of these real kind of case studies that you have, because I think they're so important and people can really relate to these a little bit, a bit more than just talking to them. So I noticed that because you've been on the market so long and you've done such a great job in this sector, maybe we can talk about a few of the projects that you think that you find is most interesting.
Okay, well, the current project we're working on, which is a Class A office building, which is undergoing a deep refurbishment. I can't mention the project, I don't think, due to confidentiality reasons, but here we're actually stripping out all the HVAC, all the electrical, low voltage data installations. We cannot touch the facade because it is under conservation order. So basically, it's a deep refurbishment, but it's a deep refurbishment with a major anchor tenant to enhance the experience of his staff. Obviously, the decision was taken to provide staff canteens, a fitness centre, coffee shop, ground floor retail, and other bits and pieces which will make the building a bit more accessible for his people. The main central atrium is also going to be enhanced with breakout areas, coffee bars, etc., so people can come and mix and kind of communicate.
Right.
So it's quite a complicated project. I mean, as usual, these projects are always short on time. When we started, the project was about 5 months behind, and they needed to have the building permit before Christmas. So we had 9 months to achieve this, which meant a fast-track project. So we had to come up with an appropriate procurement strategy, identify the risks with that procurement strategy, and then realise the project. So obviously, most important was selecting the right partners, so people who could work with trust.
Sure.
And by that I mean the designers and the contractors, which were not necessarily the cheapest, but the best.
They never are the cheapest if they actually want someone good and final results to be done.
And then the decision was made, and obviously when the tenant left, to do the enabling works package, whilst the execution design was still being completed. So we had the strip out of the building done, ready for the GC to commence. We also took a partnering approach. So basically, if something goes wrong, there's no blame culture. We all actually sit down and resolve the problems. And it's worked. It's actually worked. The project is on time, although there's a lot of problems met along the way. But the project will be, I think, done to very good quality. Everybody's been proactive. There has not been a blame culture on the project.
Excellent.
So credit to the designers and the contractor.
Right. Well, I mean, the culture is driven by the leader of the team, right?
Well, mainly on all our projects, whether it's a small fit out or a large project management job, whether it's a technical due diligence, which we're doing. If we do find problems, we usually propose a resolution, and we talk it over with people rather than try and be conflicted.
Right.
So we try and avoid conflict and look at what's best for the project.
Right. And how about on retail? What do you see different happening, or how do you see retail repositioning and moving forward?
Well, we're working on a portfolio of some medium-sized shopping centres, which we've kind of sold. A new tenant came in, but he downsized from 10,000 square metres to 3,000 to 5,000 square metre grocery stores.
It's a big downsize.
It's a big downsize. So what do you do with the rest of it? So we actually looked at the malls, with the letting team, with the client, etc., designers, and how to redesign the malls so they're better in communication, provide a better user experience. Then we looked at the tenant mix, improved the tenant mix, looked at rebranding the properties a bit. And at the moment, they're under realisation. I think 2 have been completed and are virtually fully relet.
Wow, okay.
And another 2 are underway. So again, here it was actually looking at the tenant mix. There were some ideas on 1 or 2 of the properties where you could actually reuse some of that space for last mile delivery. So converting it into last mile delivery, although it could be difficult. Depends on the location of where you can locate the docks, etc.
Right.
So not every building will be suitable.
Right, right. Well, I guess you're really getting not only the fit out guys or the project management people involved, the design people, but also the leasing team, I would imagine.
Yeah.
If you're releasing, you got a lot of space then to release and find comparable, a good mix of tenants.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I mean, that's one of the reasons also for joining BNP Paribas Real Estate, is that as a project manager, technical consultant, you can actually rely on the other teams, so property managers, agents, etc. So they can advise you as a PM. You can actually look more critically at the project which is being developed by the architect.
Right.
You can actually question the decisions of the client because you have some of the more commercial knowledge which you wouldn't being in a strictly technical consultancy. So for instance, when we're looking at an office building which is now going to be converted into residential, the client took over the building and it's like, what do I do to make the building safe? So, okay, as a technical consultant, you could say, okay, just switch off the water, the gas, etc.
Right.
But there are other kind of formal things which
Right.
you need to do, like notify the local authorities the building is no longer in use, so you're not paying taxes and
Right.
other stuff. And these kind of things you won't know as a technical consultant,
Sure.
but your property managers can tell you. So you're adding value to your service as a PM to your client, and vice versa. Our property managers come to us for technical support. So again, enhancing their service because we have a collaborative approach within BNP. We're not siloed like some of the bigger companies.
Right.
I think due to size.
And you also, we were talking about repositioning. Now it's just completely, you mentioned turning an office building into PRS or residential. So tell us a little bit about that. That can't be an easy job.
It's not as difficult as you think either. It's basically having the technical knowledge and knowing how to approach it. Difficult city centre sites with difficult logistics, it might be worthwhile actually considering bringing in the contractor earlier on to include buildability and all the logistics of how to do the material deliveries and work on a very tight city centre site. So then you can just do a tender with a guaranteed maximum price and target price, and then any savings achieved during the design and tendering stages are shared between, say, the landlord or the owner and the contractor. So obviously it depends on the client risk, how much, should we say, responsibility he wants to take on board, and project specific. So I mean, we've done. I've been involved in projects such as the Renoma Shopping Centre, which is again a very interesting repositioning project, in that they reposition the existing shopping centre, which was kind of flagging, into a new experience. On top floors, they put in offices and an extension.
Right.
So again, there's that. Or you can go to the extreme. If you look at, say, the hotel, which used to be on Jana Pavla, Mercure.
Mercury, yeah, that's a big extreme, isn't it?
That was the extreme repositioning. Knock it down and build Q22.
Right.
But I mean, great.
Yeah, it works. It works a lot better,
It's
doesn't it?
been a success. Existing logistics buildings, some may be difficult to lease due to location. They could be in a good position where you can put in a data center. So we're working on one project now where we're monitoring the fit out of a data center within existing logistics. So, there's all sorts of repositioning options for all sorts of old buildings. It's just having an idea, but mainly it's actually working together with everybody. So the agent, asset managers, understanding the market, understanding, shall we say, the tenants which you are aiming for and what you want to achieve with your property.
Great.
And how quick you want your income to come back to you.
Well, Piotr, it's great to see you again, and I can see you've been a huge success here at P&B Paribas Real Estate in Poland, and I'm sure they're very happy to have this another channel of great services. So thank you all for that. And
Thank you, Craig.
And we really love to hear these case studies because they are exciting, and it'll be great to hear what's going on in the future. It'll be great to see you next year and see how things have come together.
Thank you.
So thank you for that, and for all of our listeners and viewers, thank you for watching. So enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you for spending this 10 minutes with us, and we will see you tomorrow. Click here to subscribe to the Coffee with Craig show, and don't forget to share it with your friends.